What's up YouTube? It's MurphyD55 coming to you with another Madden 22 video, and today we're continuing our Panini Prestige Pack and Play series where I rip IRL cards in the attempt to build a team fit for weekend leagues. So we're going to be plugging some more players into our lineup today. We've already added 9 different players to the squad. The team's starting to come together. I think we're at a 94 overall, so hopefully we can pull some fire out of these and maybe even pull some cards that give us some value on the card sale market. So without further ado, guys, let's hop over and rip this first pack. Alright guys, so for part 3 of this video, we're going to be opening up one of these prestige packs here. You guys can see I've already broken the seal at the back, so let's open this thing up and see if we can pull anything good. We're going to split the deck, which is custom. We've done that on our first 2 videos. And honestly, I was worried after our first video because we pulled like 4 or 5 quarterback cards that we weren't going to get anything of value. But we started to kind of balance out the roster a little bit in episode 2. So without further ado, guys, we're going to add our first card, and this one says Leonard lights it up with a turnover. So this looks like a highlight reel card here, and we have a Darius Leonard card. So we got ourselves an outside linebacker. This one looks kind of cool. The art doesn't have any shine to it, but this one looks like it might be a special type of card. Might have a little bit of value in the IRL card market. So we're going to put this one to the side here, and potentially got ourselves a coverage-style outside linebacker. And moving on to the next one here, it looks like we got a Green Bay Packer. We got ourselves Robert Tonyan. So Tonyan, I believe, is a tight end. Could potentially plug in as our fullback if we needed him here. Honestly, not too excited about this card. I don't think he has many good ones. He is kind of a beast in regs, though. If you guys watched any of the MCS last year, people were using him with that Green Bay Packers theme team back when non-MUT MCS events were still a thing. Now, moving on to the next one. This is a huge W. Deebo Samuel from the San Francisco 49ers, and this is a W not only because he's one of the better slot receivers in the game. He's a physical archetype, even though he's only 5'11", but I actually have this card sitting fully powered up in my binder, so if we can ever get a card to add to our lineup, and I don't have to pay any coins out of pocket, that's a massive W. We could even potentially look to use his halfback card out of position as well, so we'll see what we do with that Deebo, but definitely looking like a great addition to either our wide receiver core or our offense in general. And moving on to the next card here, we get a middle linebacker in Devin White from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I know White had a limited earlier in the year. I don't know what his most recent card is. We already do have Jamin Davis as our middle linebacker, but this could potentially be another card. Probably pretty decent in coverage, but realistically, linebackers are not the thing I'm worried about. What I really want is to pull a safety card because we have no safeties yet. We do have some cornerbacks, though. Now, this is the generic barcode one. We'll throw that to the side. Nothing there, and oh boy, if we didn't have Aaron Rodgers now. We got a Patrick Mahomes card here, so this one looks like just a generic one that goes with the prestige set for the year. Honestly, Mahomes, one of the best quarterbacks, if not the best quarterback in the league, in my humble opinion, but in Madden, his release is just so bad. I was using his 88 overall card earlier in the year, and honestly, his release pretty much renders him unusable, which is sad. You know, Madden's got to do a better job, I think, of making the best players in the game cards that everybody wants to have on their team. And now the next card we're pulling is a Hayden Hurst, I think another tight end here. Used to play for the Baltimore Ravens, now he's on the Atlanta Falcons. This card, definitely not super usable, so we're going to throw this one into the discard pile. Yeah, Hayden Hurst is not going to be making an appearance on my MUT squad. Now, another middle linebacker, Leighton Vander Esch over here, representing the Dallas Cowboys. Now, he had that crazy card during the Most Feared promo early in the year where I think he morphed into like a 7-foot-tall, 90-something speed middle linebacker. We already do have one middle linebacker, but he could potentially fill in at a position of need for us. We do need 2 of them on our team. He could be one of the guys that we add to the squad. And now the last card of the pack here, guys, we get a Caleb Farley. So another cornerback for the squad. I believe we have 2 cornerbacks, so this could be our 3rd cornerback on the field. And now the one thing that I'm wondering going forward in this series, are we going to pull any safeties? Are we going to pull any offensive linemen? We might need to kind of come up with some rules for what we do if we don't pull any cards at a certain position. But obviously, we got a couple good ones there. We got some interesting players we could potentially add, guys. And now let's hop over and plug those guys into my MUT lineup. All right, guys, so we're going to kick this off with the offensive side of the ball. We went out there after ripping our packs, and we added 5 new cards to the lineup, believe it or not, and we even adjusted the positions that some of our players from previous weeks are playing at to fit our scheme. So we added Hayden Hurst here. I'm going to look at his stats quickly here. You can't upgrade him, so we got to look at him the old-fashioned way. 81 speed, 6'4". God help me if I have to throw to him in a game situation. He's absolutely going to get dunked on by safeties and cornerbacks. But hopefully we pull another tight end in one of the remaining 5 packs that we can plug into our starting lineup here, and he'll just be, maybe play fullback for us. Now we did also pull Deebo Samuel, who was the most exciting player out of today's pulls. And it was exciting too because I already had him fully powered up, so we don't have to spend any coin on him, which is always a bonus. So he's 98 speed, 98 jumping, 93 deep route running, 99 catching. So he's got a lot of powerful stats, hits a lot of those thresholds. Only 5'11", but he plays bigger than his size. I've used this card all throughout the year, and he's definitely a difference maker and a playmaker. We can probably sub him in to return kicks as well for us. So definitely probably my best receiver. He will play in the slot for me. He's going to get the majority of my targets unless we pull something super glitchy out of one of the remaining 5 packs. So as it stands right now, we have 5 players on offense. We got all 3 wide receivers, halfback, and quarterback covered. That's pretty huge. Now moving over to the defensive side of things here, we added a bunch of linebackers. Very exciting stuff. We ended up getting Devin White from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here. If you look at his attributes, only 89 speed, 6 feet tall, 81 zone coverage, so definitely not a beast by any means. We might even sub him in on the outside if we need to. But again, fills a position of need, gets us one more player on the roster. Can't be too mad at that. Now, we did pull Van Der Esch, so we already have 2 middle linebackers on the team. I figured we can either move Devin White or Van Der Esch to the outside. So let's take a look at these stats. Obviously, the morphing powers that come with the whatchamacallit program are no longer in effect here. But 88 speed for him. He's 6'4", so he does have a lot of height. So it could be tempting to put him at like user at middle linebacker, but he is super, super slow. And I've never played with a player this slow on next gen. He's got 80 zone coverage, 82 hit power. Like this guy's straight up basically a coverage linebacker. And honestly, hopefully we don't have to rely too heavily on him. But potentially could be getting some picks in the flats for us. So we got our linebacking core rounded out completely by picking up Darius Leonard as well. So let's take a look at his stats. Now, he did have a 95, but I was not willing to pay that much for a linebacker, a position I don't really value that much. You saw in earlier videos that I spent a lot on the cornerbacks, on wide receivers, skill positions, things like that. But for the grunts in the trenches, I don't care too much about him. Now, he's only 87 speed here. He's got 0 pass rush game whatsoever, and I use my outside linebackers as edge rushers quite a bit. He does have good awareness, and I imagine he's got decent zone coverage if I can find that anywhere on here. Not even showing up. So his zone coverage is probably not great. Let's just say, hazard to say that if Darius Leonard is our best playmaker on defense, we are in trouble. 6'2", I mean, no big deal. They're not a super sexy card to add to the lineup, but alas, we have all 4 of our starting linebackers there. Now, one thing I did in order to get these linebackers set up, I moved Chandler Jones from left outside linebacker to right end. So now we have Danielle Hunter on one side, Chandler Jones on the other. So we got a great, edge threat pairing there to hopefully scream at the quarterback and get it done. We still have our cornerbacks in place. We need one more slot cornerback. The main thing I'll be looking to pull next video is hopefully some safeties and maybe an extra safety as well that I can use as my user, because user is the most important position on the field. I'm really hoping that the next couple videos reveal who our user will be. Alright guys, so there you have it. We have episode 3 of the Panini Prestige Pack and Play series in the books. I'm pretty happy about the players we were able to add today. We did add some junk like Hayden Hurst, but we also got to add a stud in Deebo Samuel. So the team is starting to take shape. We've got some different makers on both sides of the ball, and we pulled some glitchy cards too that could be worth something. So I'm going to definitely do my research on that off stream and get back to you guys in the comments if we pulled anything that's worth any kind of money. But if you're enjoying the series so far, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you have that noti bell turned on, and keep your eyes peeled for the next video in this series coming to you real soon.